Hello, everybody. Sorry, we're running a little bit late. I had some very annoying news that just came through. um, so yeah, it's definitely y'all, y'all. But I hope everybody is doing really well. I hope that last week was really an experience for y'all, because I know definitely with the messages that came through last week, it was hella accurate. Like straight up, hey Alana, how are you? I am doing good. Hello IG, hello TikTok, hello everybody, how y'all doing? Last week was definitely crazy, and literally so much came to pass. Listen, so much came to pass. We are going to be doing, by the way, a crown chakra meditation for this weekly's healing circle. Okay. And the reason why we're going to do a crown chakra meditation, we're going to start it off with a crown chakra meditation, is because the moon is in Aquarius right now, and I want to start off the week with some vibes. Okay, I need y'all to be on a clear head this week before we start off. I want you guys to move forward with like a clear mind, and so we're going to go into our crown chakra, and we're going to do just, set the tone, clear some cobwebs that might have accumulated. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and do that. But before we do, I'm going to just give everybody like a few to come through, because I know it takes everybody, like a minute. So I'll give y'all a moment to come through. Patreon members, that I already have posted it on there. But hello everybody. I hope that y'all had a good last week. Last week was pretty intense. Lots of healing. When we were talking about like the digging for the truth and like digging deeper, like it's crazy how that actually ended up coming to pass, and the way that ended up showing up, like it's pretty crazy. And so it's listen, it's definitely been an experience. I feel like last week was a whole shift and experience, and I feel like as we are coming closer and closer to the new moon in Aries, that's coming up very soon, it's just going to keep, I feel like it's going to keep popping off in some ways. Let's just say we're going to say popping off. We're definitely going to say popping off. So yes, we're going to definitely start on the meditation in a second. I'm just giving everybody like a minute to come through. But I hope everybody, like, it's in good spirits and in a good, like, feeling good energetically. I personally, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm feeling pretty angry right now. I'm actually really upset, because one of my sisters pissed me off today with her damn Taurus moon. That drives me absolutely insane. And so there's this kind of thing, I don't know, for those who are Capricorns, who might actually like know, within your own energy, for those who are Capricorns, okay, let me know if this happens to y'all, because I know it happens to me and my sister, because we're both Capricorns. But one of the things that we do when we're angry, okay, especially when we're trying to communicate to other people, is that we literally will write you an essay. We will write you an essay explaining why we're upset, what you need to understand about us being upset. And this is like at the point where we need to like open up and communicate, and we're trying to explain to you so you can understand our point of view. And I'm kind of like in that mood, because that's something that happens to me when I'm like mad, but I need someone to understand why I'm mad in the first place, not necessarily like Abby's just mad. No. I need you to understand. So I'm going to write you an essay as to explaining as to why I'm mad. Like it's a huge Capricorn thing. And that's kind of like in my mind, because I'm so angry. That's like how I'm feeling right now. Like y'all, my Mars and Sag is like hella triggered right now. Let's just say to put it shortly, let's just say there is a very, very irritating person who keeps coming around in not my life specifically, okay, but somebody else's life that I care deeply about, and I am about to go the hell off on that person because they're irritating the hell out of me. So yeah, so that's like, I'm just like, you gonna hear my mouth. This is when my Gemini moon gets a little reckless too. But hello, everybody. Taurus always thinks they're right and like to have the last word. No, 100%. And I do feel like Tauruses are very wise people, okay? And having a Taurus moon is really, really a really good blessing because it allows you to love deeper and allows you to really ground yourself in your love. But the problem is that when it's time to release kind of those type of relationships, Moon in Taurus is just so hard-headed about it. Like it's really, really, it's just, listen, it's really, really hard. I love personally when the moon is in Taurus, and I love Moon in Taurus energy. I love Moon in Taurus people. But when they get into that place where they don't know how to release shit because they're so stubborn, that's when I'd be like, okay, but when are you going to let this go though? When are you going to tell this person to fuck off? Like, I need to know. My moon in Gemini needs to know because my moon in Gemini would have left like ages ago. So that's like the way I like in a relation, okay, that I am, because like my, so I'm a Capricorn sun, Gemini moon, Leo rising. My sister is a Capricorn sun, Taurus moon, Aries rising, okay? And so the emotional energy and the emotional process is completely different. We're definitely different with the way we communicate emotionally. And so when she's moving through her Taurus moon, like, y'all, I'd be livid. I'd be like, why are you still doing this? Like, what is going on? Like, I could never I could never, y'all. So it's like a whole other like process when I'm trying to mentally process some of the decisions that are made by Moon and Taurus people, because they can be very stubborn, very loving people, but it's just like a lot of people mistreat them. So, and LOL, I'm a stubborn. No, all the earth signs are very, very stubborn people. We really rule that. Even Capricorns, we can be very, very stubborn, but Tauruses are the most stubborn. They're that's definitely their area of expertise. They don't really like to budge because they're a fixed sign. So it's like once you get into Taurus energy, it doesn't want to move from where it was at. Okay, it can add stuff to the pot of things that they like because they love pleasure, they love to value things, but it won't release shit. That's not something that Taurus does often. So it tends to create a toxic loop because you're just, and this is why Tauruses are they have a connection to hoarders and people who hoard shit, because they always like to bring stuff in to their space, to their home, to their closets are huge. They have a ton of clothes, they have a ton of shoes, they have a ton of, like everything is a ton and multiply, but talking about releasing it, oh no. Tauruses don't want to let that go. There's no such thing as a yard sale. There's no such thing. It has to rip. It has to like be deteriorating for it to completely be thrown away by a Taurus, because Tauruses are just not, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do the releasing. That's not their energy. They're not like on a Scorpio kind of thing where Scorpios kind of forced to really release. As a fixed sign, Tauruses are not. They're just really not forced. And because they're not forced to release, usually the planets end up, being harsher. And this is why, with everything that's happening with Uranus and Taurus right now, Tauruses have been getting wrecked for quite a while. When I say wrecked, I don't mean in a bad way. But if you actually look at the chart, and we're going to talk about the chart in a bit, like Uranus is not messing around with Taurus, because Uranus is all about unexpected change, upgrades, like having that connection with your higher self and moving through your higher self energy instead of like your lower self energy. And so when it comes to Taurus is over here like, I just want to look good, I just want to feel good, I want to eat good things, and I want to just love who I love, and that's it. Uranus is like, okay, but you're not actually, evolving. You're just kind of repeating every day over and over again. There's no self-evolution through that. You do have to, like, I understand, like Tauruses collect things that they value, they collect things that they love, but at the end of the day, they still have to evolve, or the fall out of it becomes very, very shattering. That's why if you look at the different ages that we've had, as you know, a collective throughout time, the age of Taurus is always an age of like bounty and abundance and sensuality and all this kind of stuff, right? But then once that age turns into, it goes into the next, it literally, everything almost falls apart so fast because there was no game plan to go from one energy to the other energy. And this is why, honestly, this is why Gemini needs to go after Taurus, like 1000%. It needs to be lighter. It needs to be like a, you see how Gemini just kind of like sheds everything. It's just pure air. It's like, I don't own it. I don't hold on to everything. I don't own, it's not about me holding on to shit. I'm just light as a feather out here in La Nubes, in the clouds. So it gets, it's when you're thinking about it energetically, and you're looking at the different, you know, how it goes from one, how the energies move from one to the other, you can see how holding on to so much, and that Taurus energy is also like that energy when, you know, for people who have like ghosts in their house that they don't want to leave and shit like that. That's that Taurus energy, like being in love with the physical realm so much that after you lose your physical body, you want to stay trapped in the physical house that you used to live for whatever reason. So it creates like a weird dynamic, energetically wise, because we get anchored into certain things and then we don't want to shift it. And this is why air, like Gemini, needs to be as light as it is. It needs to be as air-like as it is as possible, because it is a reflection on Taurus. It's like, you see how Taurus is, there has to be something completely opposite to that. And so that's why we have like that boop shift into the minds right after Taurus's shift with like focus on the physical realm. So it can be so, y'all, it can be a lot. I'm a Scorpio and a double Aquarius. I don't mind letting shit go. LOL is easy. No, 100%. Especially having Aquarius placements, y'all. Aquarius placements be lit. I'm not saying it just because my Venus is in Aquarius and I have like quite a bit of Aquarius in my chart. Aquarius is like the gift. The gift is detachment. Okay, detachment with purpose, and I always say that. But Aquariuses can, you know, evolve out of a lot of different things and transform through a lot of different things because they love to be alone and because they need that space from others in order to reflect. So it's easier for them to transform. And also they're an air sign, so you know, it's all in the head at the end of the day. It's all right here. But Scorpio energy is such a powerhouse just for self-transformation and evolution. It makes you go through deep shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Scorpios end up going through a lot of stuff within their lives, but they're very powerful people because of it, because they allow themselves to, like, you know, go through the transformations. But the other fixed signs, y'all, Leo and Taurus, they can stay doing the same shit over and over again like it's nothing, and they'll just be having a lot of fun. Like, Leos would just be like, I just want to look cute every day, I want to enjoy my life, and I want to be loved. It's the same energy. It's the same energy as Taurus, except that Leo, it's more, there's more fire. There's just a little bit more fire about it. Sometimes the fire can burn out, especially if you're just giving and giving and giving to certain things or certain people. And then at some point you can literally just burn your way out of certain things. Like, you just know it's not it. But this is also why Leos end up getting stuck in a lot of toxic, like abusive relationships, because they give and give and give and give and give and give, and they get used to that kind of dynamic. And so at one point they just get burned. They realize that they've been getting burned the whole time. So it's just, y'all, the fixed sign energy is a little tough to get to navigate. Okay, it's a little tough to navigate because it can keep you, while it's good because it brings you a certain amount of stability. Okay, it helps you work through a lot of the fixed houses a lot easier. It helps you like enjoy different things, you know, and just be in the moment. You know, there's great things about fixed sign energy, but then when it gets into the toxic side of fixed sign energy, this is when we see the instability. Okay, this is when we see the bullshit. This is when we see the toxicity. You can always see a lot of the toxicity that comes through fixed sign energy, because that's where people don't want to change. That's where people don't want to evolve from, where they're very comfortable, where they sit very comfortably. So y'all, it's a process. It's a whole entire process. My ex was a Taurus sun, Leo moon. Y'all, y'all, like honestly, beautiful placement. I'm not even trying to say sun and Leo moon is a bad thing, but the thing is that Leo moons can be Leo moons can definitely be very emotionally manipulative, to the point where it's not, they don't make it their fault. It's just kind of like they want what they want, and if you happen to be in a part of that, then they want to shine in your life emotionally. They want to hold some place in your emotional consciousness somehow. And then that Taurus sun energy is like, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, I want to keep all of these things. I don't necessarily want to let it go. But it's like, you want to keep it for what? How is it evolving? How are we, how are we evolving together? How are we growing together? Where are the roots? Okay, where's the foundation? Like, I need to know personally. What about Taurus rising, Leo, Venus? First of all, Taurus rising are beautiful as people. That's because when it comes to your rising, it really impacts the way that you visibly appear. But Taurus rising people are very beautiful, very beautifully aesthetic people. Those are the people that you'll be just like salivating on. But Taurus rising people are also, they're perceived as more stubborn, more grounded, more about, their finances, also more about looking good too. Venus and Leo, beautiful placement for really shining and loving and having like a very passionate relationship, like giving and sharing love and being really like pouring your ego and feeling very comfortable in a relationship. Where it can get toxic though is the fighting within the ego. Like, is there a balance between both people in the relationship, or is it one above the other? And because Leos can be submissive, even though they're a very powerful sign, okay, the ego will submit to others when they feel like the love over when the love itself is more important than their own ego. And that's when they get really, really like submissive, So it's not that it's a bad thing. It's that it's like, because it's not, there's like, and this is why natal chart readings are important, because that when you like sit down, you're like, okay, well, this is how the energy could be, but this is also how it can manifest. You understand where you're kind of on one side versus the other, or you're right kind of by the middle. Like, you get to understand like your energy and how that's coming up into fruition. Scorpio moon, Leo moon, that square made me grow because I used to be on some BS. Oh, Scorpio sun, Leo moon. Y'all, it is kind of interesting though, because like Scorpio sun, Leo moon, it's like emotionally shining a light on yourself. Y'all listen, Scorpios don't like to be exposed. Okay, so when you have Scorpio placements and then Leo placements, you will self-expose. And depending on where it's placed, others people will be seeing your self-exposure. Like, it almost feels like you're like running around naked, like you're like it just feels like very like, I feel attacked. It feels like very like, oh, I'm sorry, my mom is calling me. Sorry. Why is it that my family always calls me at the same, like every time I do the lives? How can I know who I'm compatible with, since I'm Scorpio sun, Aquarius moon, rising? So in my, like, when I do natal chart readings, I go over your love energy. I look at the moon and I look at Mercury, but the planets that I personally look at for your love energy and your love language is Venus, Mars, Pluto. And I always say this to y'all: Venus for love, pleasure, and money. Mars for passion, Pluto for sex. These are the three main areas that you're going to need to be aware of, in addition to your moon and your Mercury energy, obviously. But those are the you have to look at those specific things. It's not about your sun sign. To an extent, yeah, your sun sign can, like, if I'm looking at a synastry chart, I'm gonna want to see how your sun relates to their sun and their moon and all that, because you don't want to have like an ego battle every 5 seconds with your partner. But the most important part are those other planets, because they're going to show you what your relationship and your love energy is, how you communicate within your love relationships, how you give love, how you want to receive love, how what your expectations are with love. There's a lot of people who have, like, for example, I have my Venus is in Aquarius, my Mars is in Sag, and my Pluto is in Scorpio. Okay, so I'm gonna break up my love energy real quick, just so I can explain to y'all what it means. So because my Venus is in Aquarius, I like a unconventional, untraditional relationship, even though I'm a Capricorn. It contradicts my sun. And again, this is what I'm saying. I don't necessarily look at the sun too much, because I'm talking about how I personally love. So I'm not going to look at my ego for that. My ego is a Capricorn. So yes, I will work hard for a relationship. Yes, I will go hard for a relationship, and I love very deeply. And the Capricorn aspects, they creep into my relationship life, but I love, like, an Aquarius. That's my Venus. Okay. So I very unconventional. I like doing things a little bit weird or different. Like babe is just like, I loved, like, also highlights friendships, and the way, like, your Venus energy highlights also how you can meet your partner. So I actually met babe through a dating app. Okay. It's a lesbian dating app. And the thing about it is that Aquarius rules technology. So you can actually work with your Venus energy to find your partner as well. Like, if your Venus is in Gemini, you can meet, not only, like, you can meet your partner through technology, through friends. It could be like, you have to kind of go out and meet people. Like, it's about, like, being more social and shit like that. So for me, I use technology, which goes hand in hand into my Venus and Aquarius energy. I love to go out with friends with my partner. I love to, like, kind of travel. I love to talk about weird things. We love to watch different movies, documentaries, all of that stuff. Aquarian energy. Mars is in Sag. I like to travel. Okay. I like to travel. I like to travel with babe. Babe needs to want to also travel with me. Like, it's part of my love language. I'm very passionate about, just going up in the mountains with babe and just chilling up in the mountains with the spirits and shit. Like, so this is why you always see like a Bruja vlog where we're taking a trip, we're doing something. Like, I love that. I love that, but also because Sag rules, like, that education, and it rules, like, the higher knowledge. I'm super nerdy. For y'all who don't know, I am a Ravenclaw. Okay, I am super fucking nerdy, and we're always talking about different topics, and I like to have a ton of conversations with babe. We always talk about so many different things. Like, it's never boring. We're never, like, bored with each other. So I need someone who can hold a conversation with me, like an intellectual conversation with me. Someone that likes to do weird shit, hang out with friends, just go explore, have fun, Sag energy. And then the Pluto and Scorpio, Pluto rules the sex part. Okay. So Pluto in Scorpio, this is the thing about the generational planets. Because this is actually a thing for those born under the same, like, similar generation. You have, y'all, our generation specifically, I personally feel like we've been calling on our past life partners, and this happens every time I look at someone's, like, chart. Okay, when I'm doing a natal chart reading, I always see it. But we've been calling on our past life partners, this generation specifically, more than the other generations. And that's because of Pluto and Scorpio energy, because we want to deeply connect with each other's souls. Okay. So it needs to be, like, the soul connection needs to be on a deeper level. And if you might have found yourself, like, straight up, like, almost every other person you meet or bring into your life happens to be like connection itself is so strong, and you're just like, why? But oh my God, but it's so, like, it's because of that Pluto and Scorpio energy. If you're part of the Pluto and Scorpio generation, we're calling on those people. We really do. We're calling on those people because now, not only one, is it comfortable because we already have a connection with them energetically, spiritually, emotionally from a past life. But this is why you see a lot of like soulmates coming up within our generation's life, and why the connections themselves, why some people have a harder time letting go, because it's a soul connection. So my part of my relationship language falls into my soul. It has to be a soul connection. This is why in this lifetime I've literally manifested 3 of my soulmates in this lifetime. And just having that awareness that that's what I was doing and setting intention for it was it's a huge thing. So it has to be, so again, weird, fun, not traditional relationship. Venus, okay, pleasure, having just fun. Mars, love to travel, love to explore, love to talk, love to, you know, the brain is the big one. And then Pluto, deep soul level, soul quenching connection, is basically what my love language and energy is. And because I also look at the moon and Mercury, my moon is in Gemini. I definitely it co-signs into my Mars and Sag. Like, I need someone who I can have conversations with. If I can't talk to you, oh no, that's dumb, y'all. That is dumb. Venus in Libra, Pluto in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio. Ooh. Well, first of all, you need some. First of all, because Pluto also, like, it's one of those like Pluto and Scorpio are very possessive kind of energies. Okay, so you might want to have your partner for a very long time. Like, if you meet someone, if you manifest that person into your life, it's not gonna be like, you're not looking for a fling type of shit. I mean, the Venus and Libra might give you a little bit of that. Like, you can easily, I feel like Venus and Libra, as much as they roll marriage and partnership, Venus and Libra can literally go through people like this. Like, it's because of their air quality. But when it comes to Venus and Libra, at the end of the day, because of that Mars and Scorpio, it's all about like the possession, that having that partner, the being with that partner, the having sacral sensual interactions with the partner. I'm trying to say it in the way where I'm not gonna get demonetized, y'all. But it's a very powerful connection, because at the end of the day, it highlights and deepens your partnership and the balance that you both bring to each other. Because again, with Venus and Libra, because Venus loves being a Libra anyway, that's one of the signs. But Venus and Libra is all about like partnership, how what one partner brings to the table, and how you come together to balance each other out. So there's this highlight on this soul level, like passionate, emotional, deep, broody connection. And I wouldn't be surprised, quite frankly, if you met like a bunch of people from your past life at this point, because Scorpio placements will do that for you. You will absolutely be out here straight up bringing in, like, calling up twin flames and soulmates and all that kind of stuff. Because Scorpio energy doesn't want to do lighthearted, flimsy kind of relationships. They want to go deep. Okay, they want to go deep. They want to get to know. They want to know the truth. They want to explore the connection. And so it becomes a longer time investment. It literally becomes a longer time investment, because Scorpio is not about like the flimsy shit. They want to get deep into the soul. Okay, the soul. I've had a couple twin flames, maybe one soulmate. Yeah, it's on a soul level. It's on a Scorpio placement. You're talking soul level energy. Venus and Virgo, Mars and Scorpio, Pluto and Scorpio, y'all. The thing though about the Mars of the Venus and Virgo is that Venus is not Venus is in its fall when it's in Virgo. When a planet is in its fall, when the sign is in like having that relationship with the planet when it's in its fall, it just means that planet doesn't feel comfortable being in that sign. And if you think about it, if you actually think about both Virgo energies and Venus energy, you can understand why it wouldn't mesh well together, because Virgo's all about healing and serving others and stuff. And Venus is like, okay, but how is that pleasurable? Like, how do I make you love this shit? Like, how? You know what I mean? So it highlights it highlights like the need to use the Virgo energy in a way that is not self detrimentally hurting. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times Venus and Virgo can be very judgmental towards the partners. Towards partners, they also pick a lot of people who they feel like they can fix. That's the other thing about Venus and Virgo. So there's like areas with the Venus and Virgo where it can be great, but Venus is still like, there's going to be times where you're going to have to ask yourself, are you enjoying yourself? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Because again, Venus is love, pleasure, money. It just wants you to do it. Venus is all about enjoying your life. Okay. If you can't take a moment to just eat some grapes and just chill naked in your bed and watch a movie, and you're just stressed out and all this stuff, like, you have to zone it back and be like, oh wait, I'm forgetting my self-care practice. What am I doing now? I gotta like, you gotta bring it back to the self-care, the self-love, because that Venus and Virgo will keep you in a like looking outward to everybody else instead of looking at yourself, holding yourself in this like pleasurable state where you're just happy and enjoying your body, enjoying your life, enjoying your partner, it's all about pleasure. It's a fun, Venus is a super fun planet because Venus just wants to have a really good time and enjoy the thing. It's all about pleasure at the end of the day. And so Virgo I feel like Virgos can have a hard time with pleasure, especially Venus and Virgo, but have a hard time with pleasure or understanding that this is a pleasurable moment. Like, Venus and Virgo might choose to nitpick at the situation before they be like, oh, that was so much fun. Instead of saying I was so much fun, be like, but this person said this and that was, I don't know. Like, it will turn into that instead of like finding the pleasure within the moment. So it can be like it can be an interesting placement to have to navigate through your life. And it ends up being just about, you have to really focus on your healing, and like bring it right, like hold that mirror to yourself. Your partners of Venus and Virgo too, and your stepson, yeah, all that calls for some family therapy though, because that just means that there's going to be self judgments and like other judgments that are going to be held in, and it's almost like I can see y'all all just side-eyeing each other. Like, there should be a meme with like when your family's Venus and Virgo and everybody's just like there should be a meme. That should be a freaking meme, because that is a critical point. I feel like you definitely have to like train yourself how to work with Venus and Virgo energy, because it's not necessarily the easiest placement. It really isn't. Not that like astrology has like, I mean, I can't say that all astrology is like love and light and positivity and all this stuff. There are some tough placements to have to deal with. And it can get frustrating to deal with some of the energies, that you carry. But at the end of the day, it's all about self-mastery. And don't forget, if your Venus is a Virgo, then healing should be your priority, and you should find pleasure in healing. And at the end of the day, having a healthier sense of self, healthier state of mind. Because if you're not focusing on your healing, then what you're serving to others, which is what Virgo rules, is a hot pile of shit. You're not gonna be able to serve others and give others like anything good if you can't reflect that back onto yourself. So it's one of those things. It's that placement is one of those things. Anytime I see it, I'm just like, but we gotta talk about it. Literally, I just go into but we gotta talk about it. I'm gonna talk you through it, and you're just gonna have to work with it. And if you come, again, at the end of the day, not every placement is going to be like, not every aspect is going to be super positive. Like me, for example, I have my Venus is in Aquarius, but it's in a retrograde. Okay. And this is also highlights me manifesting lovers from a past life, because retrogrades are all about looking back. So I've had to reflect a lot in my relationships throughout my life before I got to meet the one, you know what I mean? So it can be like that, where it can be like, oh, but universe, I want to be in love. Like I can tell you there have been times like years ago when I was working on healing my heart chakra and my love energy, where I'm like, okay, universe, I think I'm ready for this. I think I'm ready for that. And they were like, you need to heal. You need to heal. You need to heal. You need to heal. You got this. This is stuck in your soul's energy. You have to go in and heal yourself before you can. Like, it was just a whole reflective love energy period for vegan. So it's not necessarily, again, it's not a bad thing. I'm Gucci, y'all. I mean, I don't have my ring on right now, but I'm engaged. Y'all know this. So yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something that I know I had to do the work. You know what I mean? And so it's to see the results of the thing. But y'all, it's not always like necessarily the easiest to go through. Venus and Cancer's love language, y'all. Well, I actually recommend all of y'all take the love language quiz. It's very, very, my love language is word affirmations. Can y'all tell? Because my Venus is in Aquarius. And so it's all about the minds. But I love it when Babe tells me she loves me. I love it when she's talking to me about how she feels and stuff. It's like my favorite thing. But I highly recommend y'all get y'all love language quiz done, because you can see how it relates to your love energy within your chart. But Venus in Cancer is all about emotional energy. Okay, so Venus in Cancer, that can also be similar to Venus and Virgo energy, because I feel like Cancer can be very judgmental as well. Cancer and Virgo are my mother signs. Okay, not every astrologer agrees with this. Okay, but it really is true. The way that Cancer is about family and just giving to others and just nurturing. Virgo does the same thing. They're givers. Like Virgos are like, how can I help you today? What do you need? Like they're all about like, let's do it. And so when it comes to Venus and Cancer energy, it can be similar, not necessarily the same, but you have to understand, how does Cancer get his pleasure? What does Cancer enjoy? And because Cancer highlights family, children, emotions, sometimes Venus and Cancer might be a little bit of a drama queen or king, okay? Because there is an overflux of emotions, and you might just like the little soap opera a little bit more. It's similar to how I feel like Venus and Leo would act, like very like it's a soap opera. It needs to be a larger kind of emotional journey. You might like going through different emotional influxes. You like being dependent on. That's definitely with the Venus and Cancer. Oh no, if your partner shows you that they need you, that is like, oh yes, like I needed to hear that with the Venus and Cancer. It can be like an emotional roller coaster. But I do think that, like, I feel like a Venus and Cancer needs like an Earth, like their partner needs to be a Venus and Earth energy. It can't be no fire. It can't be no air. It needs to be Earth. Honestly, it needs to be Earth. There's some of the other places like the Mars needs to be an Earth. Because no, I feel like Venus and Cancer can be overly emotional, and because of those emotional journeys that they get on, they need someone that can like take their emotions and like really be like, oh, I'm gonna thank you for, okay, let me go resolve that. I got you. Oh, you're feeling bad. Let me go get some ice cream for you. Like, it's just, it has to be a receptive kind of energy. One of my favorite placements with me and Babe, talking about us industry, okay. Her Mercury is in Cancer and my Mercury is in Capricorn. So our communication style is like the absolute best and the most nourishing of all time. No, but for real. Not that other signs can't kind of do that, but I'll explain it to y'all, because I feel like y'all want to talk about astrology today, and the moon is in Aquarius, so it makes sense. But let me tell you. So her Mercury is in Cancer. So her communication style is very nurturing. All of Cancer's qualities, very very nurturing, very emotionally aware, very like as far as like being clear with the like how she's feeling about like how she wants to communicate, but very aware of how she's nurturing me with her words too. Like Babe has this thing where she like the way she talks. This is another reason why we don't really get into arguments like this, because she's very, like I've told y'all before, there's been times, like there's times where I'm just like, Like I'll get irritated about something or I'll be getting mad and she'll immediately know because she'll have that intuitive Mercury and Cancer awareness. It's like a ding 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 ding. Abby's mad or something. The vibe shifted. Like literally, she'll be like, I don't know, the mood changed, or I don't know, this happens, and then she'll just know. Like, babe, just know. She's just hella aware. My Mercury is in Capricorn, so for me, I have a more like I'm very more grounded with my mind. I can be very direct sometimes. I can be very bold, but because Cancer and Capricorn are opposite signs, like they go well together, our communication style balances each other out. So where I sometimes might be like super bold and be just like, oh, well, this is why I wasn't feeling good. Then she'll be able to be like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Da, 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 da. So it balances, like the earth and the water can then balance each other out. And sometimes, and this is what I'm saying, when I'm looking at natal charts, y'all, when I'm looking at your charts, I be looking at all of these things so I can be like, okay, well, your love language looks like this, like your energy, this is what you're going to need from a partner. Because if you don't have that other balancing aspect, your partner is going to cause you a lot of mental agony or emotional agony because you're not going to be able to have that balance there. You're just not going to be able to hold that water. So it's definitely like it's deeper. You have to like really analyze, especially when it comes, because communication is one of the most important things in a relationship. Okay, you know, it like deepens the relationship. You have to have that conscious awareness. So I'm always very, very aware of how I'm communicating when I'm learning what I'm, and I also pick my words very carefully. I make sure, as a Mercury and Capricorn, I am very aware of what I'm communicating and what the impact is that I'm trying to work. Because both Mercury and Cancer, Mercury and Capricorn, they're cardinal signs. We're trying to create impact. We're trying to resolve the issue. We're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to do something. We're trying to initiate something with our words. So it can be a very healing thing to look at your Mercury energy. That's funny. I find Cancer and Virgo women aesthetically very feminine in their style. Yeah, 1000%. And it's just this kind of like, I feel like it's just, there's this definitely an earthiness to it, but I feel like with Cancer women are definitely a reflection on their own divine feminine representations a lot of the time. And this is why you see Cancer men, like they can be a little bit, and even Virgos who are men, they can be a little bit toxic with the energy because they don't really understand how to use the divine feminine energies properly. Okay. Both Cancer and Virgos are feminine energies, are feminine like aspect, like they carry feminine energy. Like Aries is a masculine energy. Capricorn is a masculine energy. But there are sometimes, for some reason, there are some signs that one, I don't want to say one sex, but one like the female or male, they can use the energy of each sign more productively than others. Like for some reason, Capricorn women have a better reputation than Capricorn men do, even though it's a masculine energy. Cancer women have a better reputation than Cancer men, even though it's a feminine energy. So it's interesting how it kind of it's all used at the end of the day. But they definitely both Virgo and Cancer, they are moody. They do go through a lot of influxes. They go through a lot of y'all. They go through a lot. My top love language is quality time. It'd be like that. I can see that. I think that was my third, because they tell you in order. I'm telling you, go on Google, search up love language quiz and find out what your love language is, and then go look at your astrology chart and tell me if it matches. Okay, whoa, I've been talking for 44 minutes, y'all. We got to get into this meditation. So everybody in the club, go ahead and get comfortable. As I always say, y'all, go ahead and grab your nearest crystal if you want to be using a crystal for this. You can get into half lotus pose, full lotus pose, and just lay on your back for this meditation. And we are going to get started. Okay, so just start taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. I want you to start to visualize yourself inside of a golden egg, surrounded by stars. You're taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. This golden egg is divine healing energy. So you're taking deep breaths in of that divine healing energy. And deep breaths out. Taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. I want you to focus in, zoom in into your crown chakra. And in your crown chakra, I want you to visualize a door. You're going to open that door and start making your way through the tunnel and into your crown chakra. Take a moment to notice the colors in your crown space. Take a deep breath in Go ahead and ask your crown chakra to give you the guidance you need to know for this week. On your next breath, thank your crown chakra for giving you those answers. Ask your crown chakra to show you the answer to an area of your life where you have felt clouded in. Go ahead and thank your crown chakra for showing you what you needed to know. On your next breath, ask your crown chakra to tell you where you need to be paying more attention to in your life at this time. Go ahead and thank your crown chakra space for giving you those messages so that you can integrate those downloads into your life. On your next breath, ask your crown chakra to tell you where you have been neglecting your spiritual growth. On your next breath, thank your crown chakra for the guidance that it has given you. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and start to make yourself go back through the tunnel, out the door, and back inside of the golden egg. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take a deep breath in, sending that divine healing light anywhere in your body that needs a little bit of extra attention. Take a deep breath out. When you're ready, you can start to come back. Just let me know in the comments when you're back. Okay, I see that some of you guys started coming back. Welcome back. Hello, hello. Because I already did the breakdown of the upcoming new moon in Aries on the YouTube, for those who are watching do TikTok or Instagram, you can find that in the link in my bio. You can find my YouTube there because I broke down all the energies. I did a spell guide for you guys so you guys can know what spell work you should be working with for this new moon. As well as we pulled some cards for that specific new moon. Because the new moon falls on Monday, we will be having our weekly healing circle on the new moon in Aries, y'all. Okay, so y'all better come to get to work. But I do want to kind of talk about the astrology a little bit for this week because we're building up to that new moon, and that new moon is going to be very, very powerful. Not only are the planets not playing around, okay, but it's almost like there's a ticking time bomb that's happening, that's building up into the new moon. And we see that if you look at the new moon chart, you see the way that it's coming through with on Monday. You're going to see how it's kind of pushing through. The key factors to kind of be working with right now is that Jupiter and Mars, Jupiter's in a Jupiter and Saturn are both in a trine with Mars, and this specifically helps to sort out a lot of different things, especially with what it is that you want to do and what direction you want to go in. Now that we're in this full-blown Aries energy, we have a lot of things in Aries where we have a stellium in Aries right now because the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are all in Aries. So there is this kind of force and passion kind of to be reckoned with at this time. But there's definitely a lot of buildup happening with the planets. Like currently we have Uranus in a square with the moon. So it's kind of like the planets being like, fuck your feelings. So you got to do something about this. You got to shift it. And if you look at the new moon in Aries breakdown forecast, you can see how the generational planets are like, no, you got to shift this, especially because of that powerful Saturn square Uranus. There is this energy of like, okay, so you have we're going to give you until a week to let go of this person. We're going to give you until, we're giving you 7 days to let go of this person, let go of this habit, let go of this thing that has been creating an imbalance with not only with your energy but with your growth. It's specifically about the growth of it all. And I want you guys to understand that Aries is all about the journey, okay? The journey that we're all in. Every step we take towards that journey, everything that we initiate towards that journey, it's all about forward progression. It moves forward, okay? Forward. Aries does not like to be stuck in retrogrades. It does not like to be looking backwards. It is the first sign. It literally goes through the whole journey. Like it goes through every single step. And so because of that energy, when you have the planets putting a time, it's like a little time bomb until shit blows up, especially with the Saturn and Uranus square. I'm telling y'all, if y'all better do something about that specific square, because the planets are just not, there's this kind of energy of you've been wasting your time, and now I'm going to take that enjoyment that you've had. I'm going to take it away. The little, oh no, I'll do it next week. Eventually I guess no. That the time is really, really running out. There's a sense of urgency that's coming from the planets. And it moves faster because Aries moves faster. It progresses faster. It's all about getting in motion. And so where you have been stagnant is where you're going to see that friction. Uranus square the moon right now is literally like, fuck your feelings. I don't care about how you think that you should be doing things. If your intuition says, you know what, I should have maybe done this, or maybe I should hit up, maybe I should be working with, that the person at work to actually maybe network and try to see how I can like shift my career while I'm at work, or maybe I need to be using my resources instead of being mad about the position I'm in, trying to actually do something about it. You're gonna find that if you are kind of set in your ways emotionally about what you should be doing, the planets are going to be like, nope, fuck your feelings, it's just not, I'm sorry, but that's not how we're going to let you go about this energy. The reason being is because this year itself is it's such a great year to do so much good. And if you don't catch up with the energy, the way that it's going to work is that the universe is just going to straight up, it's just going to take it from you. It's just going to take that choice from you, and it's going to say, well, now you're stuck in this situation. Why? Because we put you here because you didn't want to do anything about it. So now you're going to have to decide. Now you're going to have to really stick to those intentions that you have set for yourself. It's not necessarily about, keeping it light and keeping it like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. It's not about going with the flow. It's about choosing you. Okay. At the end of the day, it's about choosing you, choosing to have a productive life, choosing to have a productive connections with others, choosing to really really evolve through your journey instead of being being in the aftermath of getting treated like shit, of being in relationships that are just not healthy, of putting up with people and things and in the energy of places that you don't belong in. Like, your whole spirit, your soul is like, I don't want to keep doing this, but I guess I have to. The second you say I have to is when you get caught up in that trap, and the planets are like, we're giving you enough time for you to rethink this and make some moves, and you haven't done it. Okay, so now I'm gonna burn the whole building down. What are you gonna do then? Oh, well, I guess you have to do something now. Like, the choice has been taken from you. So there's this build up to that energy, because that's what Monday's gonna look like. And I cannot wait to come see y'all again on Monday so we can discuss what had happens, because I do feel like Monday is a very critical period. It is the first new moon of the astrological year. It's like, let's start it off with a bang. And I do feel like if you use it incorrectly, there's going to be some things that are going to pop off in people's lives that are not necessarily going to be the best. So right now, it's really a time, especially astrologically, to understand that you're building up to that energy. That we starting off the week with this Uranus like square moon, like, fuck your feelings, because the universe is telling you, like, okay, keep doing it. You gonna catch me outside, and then watch that you gonna get caught outside, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I kind of saw it coming, but maybe I shouldn't. No, there's action that needs to be had. Action needs to be had. That's the best way to work with Aries energy, is to make moves. You have to make moves. If you're still analyze every single area of your life. If you are still stuck in any form of stagnation within your life, oh no, you're going to actually have a harder time navigating that. So I highly suggest setting clearer goals, clearer intentions, and start working towards those goals, so you're not getting caught up in any type of frustrating, toxic energy, because this week is going to be building up to that. Okay, we're going to the moon in Aquarius, then the moon in Pisces. Okay, the moon in Pisces is going to be like, oh, a little bit like, I'm a little lost in the sauce. I'm just a little bit like, I'm just kind of, in my head right now. And then boom, that moon in Aries is going to slap you so hard that you might just catch some spiritual hands. Okay, you might just get caught up with some spiritual hands, because the planets are just straight up like shifting stuff. It's just straight up like, nope, you're not going there. It's kind of like playing a video game, but while you're trying to make choices, like the road that you were going to go on, like you were about to make that shift, it just starts completely disintegrating, like falling, like turning into rocks and just crumbling down. Like, you don't have that choice to go there anymore. You can only like, it's like playing Tomb Raider. Oh my God, if you make like a wrong move, it can lead, like the new Tomb Raiders, That's what I mean. But if you make the wrong move and you go to the wrong side or whatever, or you take the wrong step while you're going through the, like, visually, like, you have to make those quick moves. If you do the wrong thing, you won't die. Like, that's really the way that is coming up. So I need y'all to be on top of the energy itself, because it's asking for a lot of us. It's really asking for a lot. So let's look at the cards for the week. What do we need to know collectively for this week? What's happening? That just straight up came out real fast, y'all. Real fast. I will take one more card. One more card collectively. What do we need to be? Oh, and whoop, there it is. Yo, I be laughing because I be laughing. Okay, so first of all, the Four of Wands, the Queen of Wands, okay? Four of Wands, Queen of Wands. We're starting off the week. Four of Wands, Queen of Wands. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. Okay, this is that trauma card. This is the energy of, like, the planets, like, saying, okay, so how long are you going to let your traumas dictate your life for? How long are you going to, like, let that situation become a traumatic event and period for you? I'm telling you, the planets are not playing right now. Then we have the Eight of Wands and death. The Eight of Wands and death. Okay, and this is what I mean. We're ending the week with death. First and foremost, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was looking at the new moon in Aries, when I did the breakdown, and you can watch it on YouTube, I said it. There are actual deaths that will be triggered on Monday. Like, actual people are going to die. Like, that's, and I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm not trying to be like, oh no. I'm just saying the energy of death is very, very heavy on Monday. And the way the planets are, going at it right now, it's critical. There's a trigger that's going to happen. There's some people that are going to be completely taken out because they're not actually even doing what they were supposed to be doing in this life. And it's just like, okay, you're taking up space now. Like, literally the way that is happening. And it's happening really quick, really, really fast. Safety is of the essence, y'all. I need y'all to be on top of it. And I need y'all to be on your safety game, because there's this quick energy of, oh my God, I have been consumed by this experience, this trauma, this situation. This person has been consuming my life. And it goes from, okay, but you had choices, because you have to understand the Queen of Wands, the suits of the wands are fire. Okay, they're the element of fire. That's a fire signs. And like I just said, Aries rules the journey. So when you're coming up as this Queen of Wands energy, the planets say, okay, well, you're the one who's directing your life. You tell yourself, I'm walking here, I'm taking a step here, I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. You can easily also tell yourself, I'm not going to heal from this. I'm going to hold on from this. I'm going to keep holding on to this person in my head, even though I don't have them, even though I haven't spoken to them in like over a year, because apparently that's something that makes sense. That's something that I need to be to be doing. That's something that actively makes sense. So when you look at the wands, because literally it's just, everything was wands, y'all, except for the death card. Everything was wands. When you look at all of this, it starts off with this Four of Wands, right? The Four of Wands. It's always about that state. If you look at the card, it's all peaceful. They're looking at the moon. They're celebrating. They're relaxing. They're having a good time. But it's like, it goes through that shift of the choices that you make. And let me just pick, hold on. The choices that are made, because it fell. The choices that are made. The way that you direct your life, okay? The way that you direct your life. This directly connects to not only your sun sign, but your Mars sign, because Mars is all about direction. And then fuego, okay, the fire. The way that you have been directing your life. If you have been directing it away from this energy, the energy of the Four of Wands, the energy of going towards your goals, of manifesting your dreams, of living your purpose, of doing the work so that you can just enjoy your damn life. Okay. If you have been steering yourself away from it, including when it comes to your healing and including the things that we don't necessarily want to let go, but we know that we need to. This is that trauma card. Okay. This is the Nine of Wands. It's always going to be about trauma. It's always going to be about pain. It's always going to be about what we're carrying from different situations, and not necessarily like I went to war and I have PTSD, but there are relationships that will give you PTSD. There are traumatic situations. There are conversations that you will still be having in your head because they have not left, because the ghost of that conversation has held such a presence in your spirit that it is still like causing that turbulence inside your spirit. So when you look at this Nine of Wands energy, it's like we're going from a good vibe, a good goals. Like it's almost like there's like an innocence. You come into the world, you're just trying to like have the you know, the life experience. You're just trying to have a physical experience in this earth, and then the directions and the choices that you make and have made have then caused different things to have been like embedded in your psyche, embedded in your energy, that have prevented you from making moves. Because again, do not forget, the wands are about action. They're about the journey. Right now, there's a lot of you who are still in a place of, I am traumatized by something. I am in pain because of something. I am in lack because of something. I cannot progress because of something. I feel like I'm stuck because of something. There's always like this blaming something else, but not taking the direction, not taking the choice that you have, that you are born with, to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. This is not healthy. I don't feel like this is benefiting me in any way, and I can't do this anymore. There's no, the nine of wands doesn't go through that. The Nine of Wands repeats things to itself. Okay. The Nine of Wands is the I'm struggling with this, or I'm suffering from this, because they have not healed themselves. So all they do is attach the shit that they need to heal to their experience, to their everyday life. So they meet new people. Oh, I suffer from that. I struggle with this. I have to deal with that. Blah, 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 blah. There's always this, I am in this trauma state. And a lot of people really, 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 really love being in the state for some reason. They love to talk about it. They love to advertise it. They love to be like, and I recover from this. Like, I do not understand how you can ever evolve in your life if you're still trying to nameplate all of the things, the traumas that have happened to you, and wear them as badges. I don't understand how you can evolve into the next version of you, like shedding that skin, that weight that was on you because of those things, and you still wear them as like a badge of honor if they're nothing positive about connecting and relating back to it. I understand that there's a lot of people that do work in that space. I understand there's a lot of people that, like, you know, are recovering alcoholics and all of this kind of stuff. But you have to understand, when you give that thing power so much that it's something that you need to wear as a badge of honor, then you are actively, it's because think about it. I want you to take a moment and think about this, okay? We wear our traumas on our sleeves the way that we wear the shit that we put in the work for, like our degrees, the things that we studied, okay? The way we'd be like, oh, you know what? I'm a doctor. I've been a doctor for 20 years, okay? Honey, I've been a doctor for 20 years. I know what I'm talking about, okay? You having that, you see how your ego, when you have achieved something, by the way, this directly connects to that Capricorn energy, that legacy energy, 10th house energy. When you have achieved something and you're like, you know what, I did the work, okay? For example, think about Dr. Fauci for 1 second. The Capricorn Dr. Fauci. Yeah, the disease expert Dr. Fauci, okay? He can wear that badge on his sleeve where he's like, you know what, I have been studying this for like I don't even know how many damn years. I don't know his whole damn biography, but I have been studying this for 60 something years. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all all gotta listen to me, because why? Because I know my shit. Imagine doing that to every trauma you've had. walking around, be like, yeah, I went through this and I did through that. Where's the happiness and where's the joy? How are you going to be happy if you're consistently triggering your own wounds and putting them in the limelight? So that's all that you're known for. The person who suffers, the person who's struggling, the person who can't let go, the person who still has to deal with this because you have made it a priority, something that has to dictate your soul, your representation is tied to the struggling bullshit. Like, again, I understand. My Gemini moon understands why people do this. I understand why people have, they have like Alcoholics Anonymous and all of those types of groups, because, social support and these type of things is important, to be supported by the collective. That's all occurring energy, to be, to go through something and be able to see that someone else is going through the same, that went and overcame the same experience and being inspired by that journey. I understand. Listen, I'm not trying to shit the process. I'm trying to shit the just wearing it as a badge thing. Like, okay, if you have not taken a drink in 20 years, bro, stop calling yourself an alcoholic because you're not drinking. Just stop it. Stop associating that to this. You can be an evolved human being. You can say, you know what? I dictate my life. I have not taken a drink, but that doesn't define me. I am much more other things than the fact that I stop drinking. It doesn't have to define your whole being. Like, yes, it is a trauma that the relationship to alcohol led to certain things happening where you had to completely sever your relationship to alcohol. Yes, but that does not have to be the defining factor to who you are in this life. It does not have to be the definitive thing that you can say at the end of your life, well, I stopped drinking. What else did you do? You are more than one thing, okay? This is why our charts are all about all the areas of your life. You are more than one thing. You are more than one experience. You are more than one choice, one purpose. You are more. So why are you wearing certain things that have nothing to do with who you are right now as a person, as badges for shit that like has nothing to do with where you're even trying to go? Bro, I need to know. I need to know. Okay, I need to know, because this is when you get from this bullshit to this. You start off this life, okay? We start off very innocent. We're children. We obviously, everybody goes through their own thing, but we're like, we have dreams for ourselves. We want to get married. We want to be in a house somewhere. We like find comfort in like the mountains and the trees and the beaches, and we want some simpler things in life. And so, the things that we kind of, compact what the life experience is to a child in a very young age. We have this like whole intention for this softer viewpoint, this softer kind of understanding of what life ends up actually being as. And then we make these choices. Okay, we make these choices that are actively, in the way that we direct our lives, that are actively either self-harming or progressive. Like, we're actively progressing through our lives. We're actually doing something through our lives. But then we get to here because we let some of these moments, we let some of these experiences turn into a hot mess, turn into a thing that we then must carry. Just like all of these wands, all of these things right here that he's over here nurturing with his fire. He's fueling with his fire, because your traumas, when you're suffering from something, where you are in pain from something, do you realize how powerful it is to take the word out, to take the suffering part out of something and then be able to heal yourself from it? There's not one person that has been able to like properly heal something without saying and stopping the whole I'm suffering from this. Like let's say, for example, you have breast cancer or something, you were just diagnosed. You consistently saying I suffer and I have this, you're going to keep having that, because even after you get it removed, you get all the shit, you're going to keep suffering from that, because you have said that is what you suffer from. And so even the after effects, how it lingers, your relationship with your body, all of that becomes a traumatic experience that you are consistently fueling. ¿Para qué? For what? For what? What is the purpose? And this is when, y'all, this is when the universe then does this. This is when the universe does this. It says, okay, but I can't keep you in this same thing. I cannot keep you in the same thing. And if you look at the past generation before us, y'all, you can see where this shit really transforms, okay, and really like causes other things to pop off. Because if you look at the past generation, right, the past generation created a system where things are on a 9 to 5 schedule. Things are, you're supposed to do the same shit all the time. You only get a certain window to enjoy certain aspects of your life, certain aspects of the world. Some people never actually even take a vacation, never see the day until they retire. And then once they retire at 60 something, that's when they're supposed to enjoy the rest of the world and do X, Y, Z, and B and Z. Okay. That is the mentality. The hard worker. I work hard for this. Take it from a Capricorn. First of all, if you're not enjoying what you're doing in your life, if you're setting goals and you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over again, but you don't have a clear direction as to things that you want to achieve. And this is why I always say with astrology, the 4 cardinal houses is where we see the most change. Because if it wasn't for the cardinal signs and the cardinal energies and the cardinal houses, we would be completely like stuck, especially with the past generation, doing the same thing over and over again. You could see where in their lives, where they had to show up, where their family took a presence, whether it was deaths in the family, whether it was family trauma, or whether it was with the way they were raised. You can see with a relationship and partnership energy, because love, at the end of the day, finding that person, finding that connection with others is something that triggers your growth, but also creates growth within that relationship as far as the marriage point. And then you have that 10th house energy. And the 10th house energy is where, okay, is where the midlife crisis was created, okay? It all comes from that 10th house energy. And I'm going to tell you why. Because once you take that cardinal journey, if you look at the past generations, if you look at everything that your parents, the people, your grandparents, everybody, how they like did the work, how they met their partner, how they relate to their family, how they come back and connect, why do they reach a midlife crisis point? Because at one point, that Saturn energy creeps up. It is the last point. Capricorn is the last point within that cardinal point, within the cardinal signs. Capricorn is the last one in the chart. When you get to the 10th house energy, career, social status, legacy, that point itself makes you sit in your shit, because you reached a point where you spent the time, which is ruled by Saturn, time, which is also ruled by Capricorn, because they're both obviously time, which is what it takes to build a healthy 10th house energy. Time. You have to invest time in order to have a legacy, time in order to succeed, time in order to evolve and grow and be known for your shit, because you did the shit. You worked hard for your shit. Okay? Legacy. When you have the midlife crisis, the creation of the midlife crisis, it was because people were not doing what they were born here to do. They didn't act on their legacies. And so they got to a point in their lives, in their time, where their legacy was then questioned by themselves. And so they sit in their fury against themselves and how they spent their time. And what is that? What does that look like? Trauma. All of a sudden, your whole entire life, trauma. All of a sudden, how you feel about like your different experiences looking back, trauma. Oh my God, I could have been doing that. Why didn't I do anything that year? Oh, but I wasn't feeling good, but I could have still done something. Oh my God, but what? Oh man, I feel like I missed out. I feel like I won't be able to really do anything now. I ran out of time. Trauma. Time then becomes trauma. And right now, next week, I'm telling you, please go watch the new moon in Aries breakdown forecast that I did on YouTube, because we talk about it. The planets, the generational planets, okay? The generational planets. Saturn is in a square with Uranus. And Uranus is just like, nope, not today. No. You are running out of time here. You are running out of time, and I'm giving you the time right now to evolve. I'm giving you the time right now to evolve. I want y'all to understand that with the way we connect right now today, as a collective, as people, our generation didn't have the tools that our past generation had. This is why our parents, a lot of them, are really fucked with the trauma. This is why our aunts, our uncles, our grandparents have collective trauma accumulated and have built and created that sense of a midlife crisis. Okay, because they have not been doing the work. They have not been in connection with their higher self. They have not been in alignment. They fell into what society says you need to be doing in order to be happy. And they found that when they did that, they still weren't happy because they didn't really get to do what they needed to do. And so right now, because our generation is more spiritually inclined, and even me, like, listen, y'all, millennials have been breaking the freaking chain, have been breaking curses, generational curses. And this is why the past generations, if you look at a ton of, you could literally look up, just Google millennials, and you will see tons of articles of every goddamn, the past generations talking about millennials have killed the housing market, millennials have killed the job structure, millennials don't want to work 9 to 5 no more, millennials don't want to do this and that. Why? Because our generation said, okay, y'all been doing this for a while. This don't make no goddamn sense. Like, why are we doing this? Why is this a thing? Why? Because why? Because why? Why do I need to work a 9 to 5? Why is that what I'm supposed to be doing in my life? What? No, we have more. Our generation has the spiritual tools. We have the spiritual, like, that awakening, that awareness where we're able to connect with each other. And I could be like, y'all, this is the energy. This is the energy. This 8 of Wands with this death energy. If you're not allowing yourself to evolve and transform and get on the page that you need to get on your road, the planets are going to do it for you. The planets are going to do it for you. You think that the past generation, especially in the United States, that they had that sense of awareness, that they had that sense of purpose, that they had someone telling them, oh, don't do this, because that's not going to work out for you. You think they had that? There was always, and the guidance, y'all, guidance is really, really important. Being able to have that spiritual guidance is really, really important, because you can then see the red flags. And I'm telling you, this is a red flag. This is a red flag. This is the planet saying, I will let you know how much you've been wasting time. And I will make sure that if you have been wasting the time, you're about to find out where you going. This right here, as much as like what's going to happen next week, what's coming to pass within the next couple of weeks as well, and how the energy will fully manifest itself, we are going to be triggered into transforming, whether we like it or not, whether we want to release things or not, whether we want to lose things or not, whether we want to evolve or not. There's a trigger that is happening. And so you best work with it instead of working against it. So then 20, 40 years from now, you're not having this midlife crisis because you didn't do the goddamn work. And it goes back down to that. We are all born to do, we all have different paths, different journeys, different things that we're meant to be doing. And if you stay stuck in the 9 to 5 business of it all, you're just not going to end up. You're going to end up in that midlife crisis point where you're questioning yourself and what your legacy even was, what your purpose even was, what you were meant to actually be doing, and why didn't you actually do it? And now, where's the time? And Saturn is like, oh, your time? Well, you were born. I gave you time. You had a lot of time. You had a lot of time to get shit done, and you didn't do it. So I don't want to hear excuses now that you are at this age, your body is in this state, you have not been using it correctly. You have not been using your connections, your friends, your love relationship. You have not been using none of those things correctly. I don't want to hear no excuses now. When people have midlife crisis, Saturn is laughing somewhere, because Saturn is just like, whoa, I gave you the time of day. I literally did. I gave you so much time. And what did you do with it? Nothing. So I need y'all to know, listen, And I honestly feel like some of my Scorpios will be getting hella triggered, because they're gonna be I feel like there's almost like a shoe that's gonna drop, and like if you look at the bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords, Justice, because it comes down to balance. It always comes down to balance, y'all. It always will come down to balance. It is not one day where it won't come down to balance, and it's all about self-mastery at the end of the day. Because if you're in alignment with what the hell you're supposed to do, you fine, you Gucci. There's absolutely nothing wrong. But the second you're getting caught up in the nonsense, it's when that's literally when that is when. What do we need to know collectively? What is going on this week collectively? There was another card that came up. Spiritual growth. I ain't playing with y'all. Babe, can you pass this to me? Because it fell over here. It fell. Spiritual growth. New love. You're so annoying. Focus. Spiritual growth. New love. And focus. And I'm not even surprised about the new love part, because the Venus is in Aries. So there is all... It's springtime. Everybody's about to try to manifest some boo right now. Focus, spiritual growth, new love. I'm sorry, but what was it that you needed to focus on? What was it that you needed to focus on? What is it? What was the thing? What was the goal? What was the intention you set 2 months ago? You still haven't done it. What was it? Focus, direction. It's your journey. Again, it's all about working with that Aries journey. It's that Aries energy. It's about the journey. It's about your growth, and you have to focus. Spiritual growth. How do you grow spiritually if not by healing yourself, healing your traumas, evolving past them? Spiritual growth. New love. Because the energy is literally there. The energy is there. Even to meet that literally, this is one of those things, one of those energies, especially with these cards, that let's say if you had some intentions with an old partner to get married, to have all of these things, blah, 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 and it turned into a whole fuck shit where you were not able to grow with your partner. You were not able to have the dreams that you have with your partner come into fruition. This literally next week, the universe is going to straight up throw a whole new person on your face. The universe is just going to be like, oh, well, you've been taking your sweet time entertaining this fool. So now I'm going to throw this whole other person in your face. And now what you going to do? Because the connection's going to be there. You're not going to have nothing to say, but I could feel it. And then what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Entertain both? You want that karma? Oh no, y'all. Listen, unless you are unless you have those placements that allow you to go to do those two things at once, I highly recommend not doing that. Archangel Michael, what do we need to know collectively for this week? Oof. What do we need to know collectively for this week? A favorable outcome. That's one. I'm going to read you the prayer. And the prayer goes, thank you for the beautiful outcome to the situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith. Because some of y'all need help letting go. Some of y'all think that because you're letting go, that is going to be negative, that is going to be bad. But in all actuality, everything's going to be fine. And that's kind of the point. If you turn it into a nightmare, that's exactly what it's going to be. Ask Archangel Michael to help you with the situation. Because 100%, if you're not actively, feeling like the shoe's going to drop, but then you're not actually doing anything about it, please remember you're a spiritual being. You can actually call on the archangels to help you navigate the energy, especially if you feel like you're about to go into a transition and you're just like, oh, I don't know what to do. Call on the angels. Just pray. Pray for help in the situation. Pray to have the assistance. Pray to be grounded. Pray to let yourself release. Okay? Ask the angels to please help me release this. Please help me let this go. Please help me move away from these bad habits, these bad the way that I've been treating myself, the way that I've been eating. Please help me focus on my physical health. Please ask. Go ahead and do those prayers. That is consent. You are consenting to the angels to assist you in the process, to help you navigate that. Okay. So listen, it's a lot of power in prayer. That's all I'm going to say. What do we need to know collectively? Collectively, what do we need to know collectively? Y'all, bottom of the deck, follow your passion. Straight up. First, be still and go within, because that's when that transformation is going to happen. Be still and go within. Be still and go within. Awakening dreams. Because what did I say? Y'all actually have a purpose in this earth. And if you thought you were just not going to do it, like, hidden gift. Because you know exactly what that is. You know exactly what you need to be doing. You know exactly. You really do. Ignoring it is not going to change the fact that you have to do something about it. I'm just saying. What do we need to know collectively? We're going to end it on a love note, because y'all need to know collectively. What do we need to know collectively? Oh my God, y'all, I'm laughing so hard. First, if they once loved you, they still do. This is that, you see? Oh, I'm sorry. Isn't that Saturn, y'all? Is that not Saturn? I'm pretty sure this is Saturn, y'all. But if they loved you, they still do. Because again, it's not about holding on to people that have expired their time with you. It's not about that. It's about understanding when you need to let people go, and understanding that we still have those relationships, those really powerful relationships that serve their time. They serve their purpose in our lives. And it's not about holding on to all of them. It's just not possible. It's not, because not all of those different energies are going to work well with each other and going to help you evolve in the process. And it says, thanks for every single time you ever fell in love, whether or not it was obvious, whether or not it lasted, or whether or not you were loved back. It changed everything. Actually, you were always loved back. And the next one, what you give will come back. What you give will come back. The energy that you give will come back. And the back says, when in doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. When there's no doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. Did I make my life too easy? The universe. P.S. There's no doubt who is number one in my book. Shh. Okay? What you give will come back. This also applies to those soulmate relationships that are about to pop off very soon in your lives, because y'all, I can definitely tell you that I can see where things are straight up about to pop off. 1000% about to pop off. So I need y'all to make sure that this week you're going into every single step, not necessarily trying to be super, agitated, but understanding that if you are agitated, you're feeling like something's about to drop, is because something definitely is. Make sure that you're looking at where this new moon falls for you, which house it falls for you in, because that's where you're going to be seeing a lot of the focus on. But also do not sleep on the generational planets, because they may move slowly sometimes, but when they do, it's a huge impact. When they do, it'd be like tornadoes and volcanoes. Okay, when they do, it's on some really deep level, and it affects all of us. All of us are collectively going through this. So I can see where all of us are in this point where we need to have that awareness, where we need to be on the same page about the energy, because the energy is really, really powerful, and I don't want y'all to get caught up in the currents. Okay, so I've been talking for almost 2 hours, y'all. This has been the weekly Healing Circle, y'all. I will definitely see y'all on Wednesday for our weekly community oracle pull. So we'll be pulling cards and all that jazz. All right. Thank y'all so much for coming. I'm really excited that y'all come through and meet me here every single week. Thank y'all for all the love, all the support, for rewatching this on YouTube, for all of the support. It's just been really, really amazing. I am gonna go ahead and go back to readings, because y'all, I have I think 35 natal chart readings that I'm working on right now, and y'all got me literally booked and busy, straight up busy. So I'm gonna get back to work. Thank y'all so much for all of the love, all of the support. I will definitely see you loves in the next video. There's more coming because I have videos still uploading, and I will see y'all. Okay, bye y'all. Have a good night. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. Stay safe this week, y'all.